Are we sick of franchises? I hear it all the time. Nothing is original anymore. Everything is IP. Why don't they make them like they used to? And yeah, I mostly agree. It's getting out of control. Just this year we've had Paddington in Peru, the Snow White remake, Superman remake, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, The Accountant 2, Karate Kid Legends, Lilo and Stitch remake, How to Train Your Dragon remake, Happy Gilmore 2, Freakier Friday, and later this year we're going to get Avatar Fire and Ash, just to name a few. But after seeing Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning and how genuinely good it was, and how nobody is complaining about how we have too many Mission Impossible movies, it got me thinking, are we sick of sequels and reboots? Or are we just sick of laziness? It's true that there are a ton of sequels and reboots that are being made solely for the money, but that's not to say there aren't ones that are actually really good. The Mission Impossible films have been consistently good, Top Gun Maverick is an excellent sequel, and Star Trek Picard surprised me by just how good it was. It gave the Next Generation crew a satisfying conclusion. My point with all this is, when we complain about the Star Wars sequel trilogy, or roll our eyes at the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer, or do a facepalm when we realize Robert Downey Jr. has been cast as Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday,
not a great plan.
what we are really annoyed with is how lazy the studios are. We have seen what they can give us, but they choose to give us the same thing or just slap a brand on the movie and people will pay to see it because it's a part of their favorite franchise, not understanding or caring why people fell in love with it to begin with. I really feel like this whole trend started in what I've considered the beginning of the downfall of movies, 2012.
The world, as we know it, will soon come to an end.
No, not the movie 2012, although that movie is pretty dumb. The year 2012, the year when a little movie called Marvel's The Avengers came out. The Avengers was a huge hit, you all know this, and the rest of Hollywood had to have what Marvel had. So we got all these universes that started to follow the trend. There was the Dark universe, the Spider-Man universe, and of course, the DCEU. And all of them didn't analyze what Marvel did that worked, they just put something together and assumed it would work. And well, you guys know the rest. Then a few years later, Star Wars The Force Awakens came out, and after seeing the trailer, audiences were hyped. The movie was fine, but it doesn't really hold up well now, and the reason is simple. It's because the studio cared more about making money rather than telling a story, which is why a lot of people are coming out and saying that the prequels are actually better, because even though they had their moments...
I don't like sand.
Now this is pod racing.
And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
Are you an angel? What?
they were never as lazy as the sequels.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
For all their faults, the prequels were made with love and passion, and the sequels were made to make money. And audiences saw right through that. Eventually. Because each movie made $1 billion. And just like with the Avengers, what did the studios do? We got every single franchise coming back for another ride with the old cast returning.
Ancient way.
Miyagi way.
Including 3 times where Harrison Ford returned to a character he played back in the 80s. Some worked, some didn't, but everyone was trying to get what the Star Wars sequel trilogy got. And the only reason studios even did this is because they tried to get people on board with nostalgia. And to be fair, it worked really well with The Force Awakens. The trailer, even to this day, is amazing. It makes me cry. But they bring the old casts back to these franchises for the wrong reasons. They do it for nostalgia. And there's no reason for the original cast to be there outside of, oh, hey, it's that guy. We remember him. He was cool. That being said, there are some exceptions. And Top Gun Maverick, bringing Tom Cruise back, turned out to be great because there was a compelling narrative between him and Rooster. You could tell the movie was not made just to make money. It was made with a lot of love and care. And we even got Val Kilmer back as Iceman in his final role, and no part of his involvement felt like it was just there for nostalgia. He had a part to play in the story, and it worked. Before each Mission Impossible movie, there is a special message from Tom Cruise, and sometimes the director joins him, thanking the audience for watching and showing just how much this movie means to him. And you can feel the passion in his voice as he talks. Meanwhile, Lando Calrissian returns in The Rise of Skywalker because people like Lando, and he's the only original cast member that hasn't been in the new movies yet, so why not? Can you imagine if they brought this character back during The Last Jedi and the Master Codebreaker Maz Kanata was talking about turned out to be Lando, and he heard about Han's death, and he ends up joining the fight and starts going across the galaxy to help find people to fight the First Order, so that way in the final battle it's actually earned instead of out of left field? But that's too much work. Let's just have him show up. That's enough, right? My overall point with this video is to show that audiences are not tired of franchises or sequels or even reboots. We're tired of laziness. The Star Wars sequel trilogy easily could have given Han, Luke, and Leia the reunion that the Star Trek Next Generation crew got at the end of Picard Season 3. But crafting a compelling narrative was not on the agenda. People want to see the love in the project. We're more forgiving of bad films that were made with love than okay films with no passion at all. Sure, it takes a lot of work to craft a compelling story, but if the studios would do that, then they would make money like crazy, because they associate the name with quality. Star Wars used to be associated with quality, but now when a new Star Wars show or movie gets announced, people roll their eyes and declare it stinks before it even comes out, and I can't even blame them. Compare that to Mission Impossible, where we're 8 movies into a franchise that started in 1996, almost 30 years old, and only one movie was kind of meh. I can't name another franchise that has that kind of track record, and the reason those movies continue to do well is because they are made with love. Tom Cruise may be crazy, and he loves doing these stunts, but he also has a passion for making sure the audiences have a blast at the movies and that you get your money's worth when you pay for a ticket. And that's all we want from studios. Yes, we want original films, but more importantly, we want to love the movies as much as the filmmakers do.